Hey everybody, this is Vince Miller. Thank you so much for joining me for another devotional. Our shout out today goes to John Park of Sugarland, Texas. Thank you, brother, for sharing these devotionals with other men. And by the way, thank you for pre-ordering a copy of my newest devotional on the book of Proverbs. In fact, I put a link today there for all you guys so that you can purchase one of these, maybe for a brother or a nephew or a grandfather or a son. And these devotionals, just 30 of them, are great through the book of Proverbs and are good for study on your own or one-on-one as you're mentoring other guys or even in a group. Pick one up today because when you pre-order them from Amazon, it does a lot of good for our ministry big time, especially on the social front. So thank you for doing that. With that, today we're going to be in John chapter 15. I'm going to read verses 1 through 3. John Park, this is for you. It reads, I am the true vine, says Jesus, and my Father is the vine dresser. Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away, and every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes. So he cuts at them, that it may, what? Produce more fruit. Already you are clean, and now he's speaking to the 11, minus Judas, right? Already you are clean because of the word that I have spoken to you. Now, here Jesus uses this ancient image of Israel, which is the vine image, to make an essential point about true and false believers. And because we live in a time of rising and blatant heresy in the church, Jesus tells us exactly how God responds to heretics. So this is a very vivid and timely message for us, right? So to be clear, a heretic is a proclaiming believer who mutes or mutilates the teachings of Jesus. They declare that they follow Jesus, but they disagree with one or a few specific ideas in Scripture or of his teachings. That is what we call heresy, and the person that proclaims it's called a heretic. And in this metaphor, Jesus tells us how God responds to heretics, okay? First, Jesus declares there are only two categories of believers. They are either true believers who are followers and false believers who are heretics. Second, true believers are easy to spot. They produce fruit, and they do so because they're fully connected to the vine, who is Jesus, and every once in a while he prunes them so they can produce more fruit. Third, false believers or heretics are also easy to spot. They don't produce fruit at all, and they don't because they're not fully connected to the vine. Now, they are fruitless, and they're dying or dead believers. And number 4, God is the vine dresser who cuts off all unproductive heretics who claim to believe and follow, but don't. They make these empty proclamations because they're unproductive, self-proclaimed believers, but they're not really believers because they don't produce anything. You know, church, in our time, this text right here, it challenges us to take a closer look at how we are connected to Jesus, who is the vine, doesn't it? That's how I felt when I read it. First, it demands deep self-examination of the things we believe. Second, it demands that we know the teachings of Jesus. Third, it demands we accept Jesus' teachings. And fourth, it demands we adjust our lives to Jesus' teaching, not adjust Jesus to our teaching and ideas, which is exactly what heretics do, right? So don't adjust Jesus or his teachings to your contemporary or even elitist ideas that you think are better than Jesus's. You know why? That's unproductive, and you're going to be cut off. In addition, don't follow a church or a teacher based on your personal preferences. Choose a church, choose a community, and or a communicator that you follow based on their undying commitment to Scripture and the discomforting truth of Jesus Christ. And if they do this, you're going to know it. They will convict you at times. The teachings will convict you at times. And you'll be predisposed to aligning yourself to the truth rather than the other way around, which will produce tremendous things in and through you. I love you guys. I pray this has blessed you. If it has, share it with someone else. just like John Park did this last week. And I'll see you right back here again tomorrow.